how to create a mod for Stellaris Part 3. We're going to go over clothing. Let's see if I can make this shorter. What we have so far, we have 3 of these images. One of them was extended a little bit further than previously that we had. We can always adjust this to make it more of a mod suited, but I'm going to just leave it how it is. And we're going to use this clothing to cover up everything. So we'll see how it goes. Now, this one's kind of dark. And like how I did previously, we could hue it up. And with this, we could literally change any color we like. We could brighten it up more. Want it brightened enough. Doesn't matter if we see extra colors or whatnot. We just want it vibrant. Now, if you have a good design, for example, it's hard to go off of this. This is super saturated. So we're just going to live it up, and then I'll show you afterwards. But with this, we have a masking. We're just going to go ahead and paint. So I don't care about this right here. Like this, we don't care about. Just this. Or what we can do is instead of masking, we could just drag it down. Oh, no. This is covering that. Yeah, let's just mask it up just to be easier. Alright. Just gonna paint. Now we got some. We could either paint it or leave it. It really doesn't really matter. We're going to bring in a stable diffusion anyway. And masking, like I said previously in part 2, all we're doing is clicking over here and painting black. And that's masking the stuff that we don't want to be seen. Alright, we're good. Theoretically, yeah, we don't even need to see the head or anything. We can duplicate this and make it more fancy, but I'm just going to leave it how it is. Have a white background, save it as. Go back to portraits. I'm just going to leave it right here for right now. Now, our negative prompts are fine, even though we're not doing any facial or anything. So we're just going to have woman wearing futuristic suit. Let's see how that goes. We can add more, like sci-fi, anything you name. It'll do its best to draw it. We're on 44, which is not much. So we're gonna go higher. We'll go about like 7 or 6. Right about here, we want a dramatic change. We ain't going too far up. We're just hitting the sides. And then on that side, we're going to blend at a lower setting. That way it's not dramatically shifted over in your heads. You have to do all that mess. So we're just going to go around here. If majority is changed, that's all you need. Now that's like totally off of the design, so you just gotta flicker. Maybe it's just a little too much. It's not reading as much. A little too much. And you just work yourself until you're getting somewhere you want to work with. Go ahead and send it to inpate. Repeat. It's kind of getting weird. Let's say we want futuristic fabric. Um, go with that for right now. It's getting a little out of quality. So we could add a few things. We're getting too much of a motion blur. So we're just going to erase this. Get a little too much of a motion blur. Getting a suit. That's fine. It's just out of lines. The lines. Got a little quality, but we're going to add a double negative. Low resolution. Grain. Add blurry. Probably I like to add like low contrast. Then maybe go back to 52. Getting too much, just probably go to batch, add one set, see what we get. See, add some color textures. It's not a add that. Just thinking it's add, not fancy of those lines that I was trying to copy over. So what we do is go to InPaint Sketch. Instead of bringing it to Photoshop, I'm just fix it myself. I'm going to change the colors. I'm just going to blue these lines right here, just to get rid of these lines. It likes to use the details. It's really great at it, but I'm not fancy of what it's doing. So I'm going to just take them all out. And then you got plenty of designs. It could be cartoony, it could be whatnot. You can add more realism, whatever design you're looking for. Stable diffusion definitely does a great job at adding things. Right now I just barely put this much, but you can add so much more. Stable diffusion likes to draw breasts huge. You could lower it, you could do stuff. Just gonna leave it for right now. I'm gonna go about 40. Then I'm just gonna get this straightened out. This one seems just about right. Just gotta trim a lot, but it's a good start of how to creating your own clothing. See how that looks, then move forward. Definitely use this as a reference of how we're going to go by. Oops. So I'm just going to duplicate it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could be off. We see a lot of black spots, so we're going to have to redo this real quick. Merge the empty one and fix what's not. And see if it, okay, fix the, sometimes when you use remove background, it removes parts of the body. It's good to have it on a black screen so you can see the whiteness that's left over. It's fine to go over and do more than expected. It's however you see fit, and that'll work just as fine. There's many ways of doing this, so don't take mine as the true template of creating designs. It's just one outlook that you could be taking. I'm not the greatest when it comes to Photoshop or anything. It's like simple work. I recommend having a good blue color as a base for all designs, and then using the hue, or if it's like super red or yellow, those are really good colors to use. But blue stands out because you could easily, I'll show you in a second what I mean by that. We still gotta shape up the neck, this piece. Gotta remove this as well. We don't need any of this. All this could go. Don't have to be perfect, just enough where the neck is not showing when we add our piece, where it looks like it's blended in just fine. Control Z is your best friend while you're using a mouse. I'm not going to pull out my pen. It's just fast pace, motion. Just have your left hand ready for Control Z. It's going to happen. It's not, you can take your time, go fast, you can do this. But in the day, as long as it looks good, it's good. If you have a better technique, use it. It's just the simple manual labor of just getting through the lines and getting the best you can. If you don't like the lighting that Stable Diffusion gives, you could just blend it. You could either go a color less, like this for example. If it's this, just go a little bit left. Don't like that color, a little bit left more. And then going like 19 to 40. Doing it once is good. You could just do it twice or even a third. But it's definitely makes a change. from what it was before. You could go even further. And then you can actually blend it a little more. You can do all sorts of things. There's so many tools you can use in Photoshop to get the way you want. Whatever works for you, just use it. Might take you a little longer, might take you less longer, as long as you're enjoying the artwork that you're creating, using it. That's the main key. Don't create something that you just don't enjoy. Not a fan of collars hanging out of the neck. Just my philosophy. Could be others, but I like to keep it roughly around this section. Just just looks too weird for me, for my eyes at least. Maybe others see it as great. I'm just a little picky when it comes to drawing. Everyone has their own style. It's your artwork, so take it to heart. That looks fine to me. Might not look fine for some others, and that's fine. That's art for you. All right, we got that. And how will the face look? Which one is? I think it's this one. So we're gonna save this neck or this piece. We're gonna change this. I'm not a big fan of that V-neck. Good or bad, your work could be something totally off. It could be super blown, like this, like made the body larger. So now it can made the head shorter. So it's your dynamics. If you like it, you like it. You don't like it, then it is what it is. But I'm pretty sure this dimension is bigger. The base model is bigger than the armor dimension. So I'm just going to double check. I'm just going to run it. If it's larger, it's just going to shrink and make this smaller, and then it might just change the whole dynamic. Which isn't too bad because we could go ahead and open that file of the image and line it up with this as best we can, and then take that off and then save it and see how that goes. And here's the model. Looks like it's in. The chin's kind of has a little graininess. Edit it. Just gotta edit a little more. It might be the head needs to rise up a little, or so the mesh holds all this together and it's just moving all these images the way it wants to. And how they layer it will, you can't really see it too much, but it's gonna bother me. But it's layered in a way where everything's kind of sliced. So things are just not gonna have a perfect blend as what you do in Photoshop. Or actually, never mind. Let me use the number 2. This one was originally the one I forgot to save. One that of the head over here that got was 4 pixels off to the left, and then 2 is the one we moved to the right, and it doesn't look too bad. It's just the animation, so especially up here, the transparency. You can always rework this part to make it better, but I'm not tripping too much for a template of showing how you guys how to create designs with Stable Diffusion. It's really simple. I might just make a Stable Diffusion guide as well, but there's so many of how to get Stable Diffusion working, and they're excellent guides that go into further detail than what I'm doing. So we got that, and it's loading properly the body instead of the base once we moved it to the clothing 1. But this right here, don't worry too much. Further down the road of this mod, going through each part, this clothing design will be gone, where you don't see the base. You're just going to be seeing this. That's it for this, for part 3. Part 4, I'll go through the hair details. So you don't have to worry too much. And I gotta fix the color variant, it just disappeared. But overall, it's work in progress. We're just gonna move on to the next part.